to Dunge. I've had quite a busy month this month on the layout. Done various things, and I'll try to explain what I've been doing. I think you probably remember from last month, if you saw last month's video, I had some issues with some of my points in the lower fiddle yard. I managed to get under the boards, get the boxes out of the way, and it seems that I've managed to yank two of the micro switches off. They've actually come out. The wires have taken the little board out of the actual housing. You'll see what I've done with that in a bit anyway. And then I managed to bend one of the bars that comes up through the tie bar of the point. And yeah, managed to sort that out as well. I'll put a little bit in the video later on about that. Also, I've been doing a bit of work on the scenery, as you can probably see here. Hope these two 24s aren't too noisy. I've had a bit of a tidy up and started working on the landform a little bit, trying to see if I can do what I've got in my head, model it. Got a bit more work to do on this top section up here, but I think it's coming along okay. It's just if I can blend it in with the back scene like I've done on the other end over there. I'm actually talking about over there. I'll show you what I've done over this end as well. I've taken the greenery out of the edge. I think it looks a lot better. Also taken the greenery out of the triangular section in the middle, and as you can see I've chopped out that lump that was in the middle as well. Kept looking at it and thinking it doesn't quite look right to me, so I decided to chop it out, and so far that's as far as I've got. Put some static grass in, but it looks a little bit too green, so yeah, got a bit more work to do on that. That's what I've been doing. Oh yeah, just an idea I had, fiddling around with some wiring for a loco I bought that had got no wiring to the motor. Unbelievable, but that's another story anyway. Yeah, what I've got here is some thin wire just to act as point motor wiring, and I've got the little orange tubes from Scale Model Scenery, and you can actually fit this wire inside it, so you can feed it partially in and then have it coming out, and then I'm just going to tack it in position with a bit of super glue. And I think once I've done that there, and on some other points coming out of the trunking, you know, towards the boxes and the signals, and then get some weathering over the top, it should look quite nice. As well as that, I've also got one of these, can you see that? And I'm going to put them down there. If you can see that little black wire coming off the end of the trunking, I'm going to do the same on that bit there as well, and probably on the other tunnels as well that I've got to do. Anyway, that's what I've been up to. It doesn't look very much, but it's took me forever. So yeah, and I've got a friend at work that keeps asking me how I'm getting on with my layout. He keeps seeing this lump of Celotex and says it never seems to change, you never do anything. It's a funny one really. I'm trying to explain to him that this is actually my first layout. My other layout was just a board, or a couple of boards I should say, with track down and a couple of wires fastened round the joins. It was very basic, but this one I've gone, like I've tried to explain to him, I've gone in learning the electrics, I mean, I've not done any of this stuff before, so I said to him, that's the reason it's taken me so long. You know, this is the first time I've done any of this stuff, so you're a bit nervous about making a bit of a pig's ear of it, aren't you? But I'm enjoying what I've got so far. It's a bit stressful at times, and I think you sort of put a little bit of pressure on yourself to do a video as well, which last year I couldn't do. I just couldn't do it. I was getting married last year, so it was too much of a hassle. But hopefully I'll get back into it this year and get a few more videos out, and hopefully crack all the scenery at this end, and then it'll be on to detailing, and then detailing the stock and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I'll get off now and let you see some trains and other bits that I've been up to. As is usually the case, well, I find it anyway, I complete one job and also then seem to add 2 more to the list. In this case, I've realised that the points here and here haven't had all the wiring done to them properly, so whilst I was messing around down here and looking at bits and bobs and tidying things away, I realised that there's only 2 of the points actually wired up properly, so that's another job to do, and I'll be doing that in the next month, hopefully, all being well. Also been doing more testing, and I've been running most of these locos through, and still definitely struggling with 3 trains per track. It makes a big difference to how many locos you can run, but it's really tricky to keep them running properly without crashing or derailing. I think really it's one of those things where I'm going to need to maybe in the future computerise the running. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot more work, and I'm not bothered doing it at the moment. I'm going to just try and get 2 trains per track and see how I get on with that, and do it all manually, so to speak. So, as you can see, this is actually much worse than I thought, because this is one of those motors with the extension. Can you see that? It's got the extension join piece there, look. And I've actually managed to bend the damn thing, so I'm going to have to somehow try and straighten that up. I've took it off its little I think these are PL something or other. Anyway, that's stuck on with double-sided tape, so I've got the position. But what I also found as well is that I've got another, where is it, there we are, one of these that's come detached, so it's actually from inside here. That little piece, that is where the micro switch works, and that's the little rod that should go through that hole. So somehow this whole thing has come off. I'm assuming that's me again with my clumsy attempt at tidying up, so made myself a lot more work. But I'm glad I spotted that, because it would have been a right pain to just end up doing the first one and then have to get everything out again to get back under here. But it's also made me realise that I do need to sort the wiring out. I can't leave it hanging down like this. If I'm pulling boxes in and out, it's just going to wreck the whole lot. I'm not sure whether I can actually fix this or not. I'll have to see if I can glue it in. Yeah, so I'll do a little bit more, see if I can figure out what I've got to do, and then I'll come back and let you know how I've got on. what I've got here is a recent acquisition from eBay. All 4 in one go, and I didn't think they were too bad. You couldn't see on the auction that they'd got a load in them. Now, to me, that looks a little bit too much. I might be wrong, but I'm going to try and get that out, at least one anyway, just see how that goes. I might soak it in water, see if it's PVA. If it doesn't come out, then I know it's not. Yeah, nice little set of wagons there. I'm trying to build up a few rakes of these sort of things. I can remember these running when I was a kid, so quite a few years ago, but yeah. I seem to remember the 44s and 25s pulling these along. Yeah, as you can see, I've started chopping this little bit section out. I left it in, and then when I watched the last video back, I thought to myself, I'm not sure that looks quite right. So I've hacked it off, and I'm going to put ballast in the little triangle area. I think it'll probably look a lot better, a lot more like the real thing. I might have a bit of a green area here, just a little bit of weed and stuff growing, you know, grass popping up. But I kind of got it in my head that they wouldn't actually have left a big lump of rock sticking out. So I've took it out. Right, I'll do a bit more work and then come back. So there we have the revised wagons. I've soaked them overnight in water, and luckily it was all the loads were stuck in with PVA, so they came out with a bit of a tug, and that was it. Quite pleased with that, because I wasn't very happy with the loads when I saw them. They were all over the place. So yeah, I think that these will look quite nice when I've decided what I'm doing with them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to cram a few more things in than normal. I had a bit of trouble with the running of the locos, you may have seen some of that. But I think that's probably because I've been doing more work and not so much playing. But anyway, so I also want to say thank you to all the new subscribers and all my regular viewers. I really appreciate anybody that leaves comments and gives me thumbs ups, you know. I'm not out to get subscribers or anything like that, it's just really, I really want to document what I'm doing. But it does help the channel, and maybe in the future I'll do a bit more of the how-tos and stuff like that when I know what I'm actually doing myself and how to do it. I've been looking at some new channels as well. If you want to check these out, because I think they're worth a look. There's one called Peaks 47, and I think he's based in, it is like an LMS in the Peak Steam. Cracking looking layout, and he's doing bits and bobs on it all the time too. And then there's another one called Durban Garden City. That's a great layout. He's got a massive helix, and it looks like it's going to be something special when that one's done. And then the last one, I think you've really got to check this one out because it's fantastic. It's computerised and everything. It's called Perth South, and the guy's name's Hugh, and he's such a nice chap. I had a couple of chats with him on email, and he's got some great stuff going on. So if you can pop over and have a look at their layout, I think it's worth your while if you're not already subscribed. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.